Welcome back to Heston, QPR's training base here. I'm delighted to be joined by Head of Operations, Josh Scott. He's going to take us behind the scenes at the new building behind us, which is excitingly well underway, isn't it, Josh?
Yeah, absolutely. So from the outside, it may not look too different to the last time we did an update. What we're going to look at today is walking through the building. You start to get an idea of the shape and the size of the rooms. Really exciting where we've been to in the past few months.
From the outside, you can clearly see the sheer scale of it, can't you?
Yeah, and I think that's what's important, is this is about 2.5 times the size of our current training ground facilities, about 3 times the size of what we used to have as well at Harlington. So in terms of the size and the scope, far better than what we've ever had.
And the position of it here, perfectly laid out in front of the first team pitches, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly that. So the players will be able to walk out, whether they're academy players or the first team players, they'll be able to walk out onto the pitches here. We've even got the floodlights up, the undersaw heating will start kicking in. So far better, something that we've been really working towards over the past 6 months.
And in terms of when will we be moving into there? The summer, is that realistic?
Summer next year, ready for pre-season, that's certainly the aim.
Perfect, let's take a look. So we're here in main reception. We've made our way into the building here at the new training ground. Of course, hard hats at the ready because it is still a building site here. But as we look outside, it's still a building site, as I say, but it's going to be the grand entrance here at the new training ground as we make our way into main reception. And Josh, there's a key plan here, isn't there? Right for the academy, left for the first team.
Yeah, so that's how it's been designed. Obviously, grand entrance as you come in, nice glass frontage to the players, and everyone got a luxury feel when you come into the building. But you'll go to the right-hand side for the academy, you'll go to the left-hand side for the first team. So in certain areas, there is that sort of clear progression. The players from the academy side will be able to see the first team facilities, but also some segregation so we can make sure first team are kept to their areas. And the academy have got a huge area to work with now, far better than what they had before.
Let's take a look and make our way through the new building. So as we turn left and make our way, which the route the first team of players will be taking, what is it on our left-hand side and our right-hand side that we'll be seeing?
So starting off with some of the less glamorous areas, there are kit areas for storage of kit, for laundry rooms. Something really important is there is a performance analysis room, which is actually going to be like a cinema setup. So that'll have tiered seating, players can then watch back analysis of previous games.
So we're here in the dressing room and it's quite a large size, isn't it? Certainly no hiding place in here.
No, absolutely. So when you compare this to Loftus Road, it's about 60 or 70% bigger than what we have at Loftus Road. Of course, this will be used on a daily basis. You know, Loftus Road may be used 25, 26 times a year. So you'd expect this to be bigger, more comfortable. The players will be able to leave, their items in here during the week and obviously have their own personalised lockers around the room. What's important for us is this leads directly out onto the pitches, so they'll have their boot up area that they go into, but also that we've got a very impressive sort of rest and recovery room that they'll use next to us. At the moment, and for several years, we've had sort of small ice baths that they'll jump into after training sessions or during their rehab sessions. We've actually had a custom-made hydrotherapy pool come over from the States. That's been designed, with panels that run along the bottom so the physios can watch them as they're in the hydro pool. Almost looks like a small swimming pool that you might see, but then there's also a plunge pool in the corner as well. So really high-tech facilities that we're able to give the players and staff here.
And you can see it at the moment, but there'll be a wall separating the two, won't there?
Yes, yeah. So there will be a wall, so they won't see directly through into there. But even, this space, which gives them sort of direction as they come into the building, naturally out onto the pitches, something I think the players are really excited about.
This is one of the most important rooms for the football club.
I think it's one of the most important rooms. Yeah, as I say, it's where the players, it's where you want them to feel at home when they come in. You want them to have that sense of, this is something really high end that they're going to be coming into, and something obviously we want to strive to achieve of having that feel for the players.
And if we reflect back to when we spoke in the summer, we were pleased with the space we've got in the temporary building, but this one's just a step up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a step up. It's a slightly different shape and size to what we had over there, but that was all temporary facilities with lockers that we reused from Harlington. So, to reiterate, this is all brand new, so everything that's put in here, the bespoke lockers that we'll be putting in for them, all the arrangements that are going to be in place, it's all brand new for them when they come in.
So we follow the pathway from the dressing room and we're here now in the gym, which is quite a large space, isn't it? But there's a lot of materials being stored in here as it is still a work in progress.
Yeah, so obviously we are still mid-construction given that we're finishing next summer, so there are going to be areas here that do look like they've got things stored in them. So it's a bit of a ductwork graveyard at the moment with all of our ductwork that's going to go up across the rest of the building. But importantly, this is really significant space for us. This is far bigger than any gym we've had. So obviously the equipment and the technology that's going to be put into here, the equipment that we're procuring, but also you've got the glass frontage, which I'm sure the guys will show you. The rest of the building is brickwork, windows in. This is one of 2 glass-fronted areas, so the players will be able to see directly out onto the pitches and have that view.
So other than the view onto the pitch, what's the significance of the windows?
I mean, some of it being an architectural feature, so the players will have all the natural light coming into this area. It makes it look quite impressive. But it is that idea, when they've got their functional areas coming into a performance area, being able to see from a performance area out onto the pitches, it leads into that natural progression. They might do a warm-up in here, they might do cool down in here. It's straight out onto the pitches as well, so it's that nice sort of link into the pitches outside.
So the sports science staff and the contractors here have had a key part to play in the layout of it, hasn't they?
Yeah, so obviously from the start we've worked with architects, we've worked with contractors to make sure this building is designed around our needs. It's not sort of off-the-shelf design. Really importantly here, our own sports science, our own fitness staff are able to say, this is where we want the strength and conditioning side, this is where we want stretching and rehab. So they've been able to lead into the design of this area to make sure when we move in the summertime, it's ready to go, and importantly, it's how they want it to be set up.
And the equipment that will be put in here will be brand new, won't it?
Brand new
State of the art.
Yeah, brand new equipment again. So long gone are the days of reusing gym equipment from Harlington or gym equipment that we've had for years. Brand new cardio equipment, brand new strength equipment, everything again that our strength and conditioning teams, our performance teams have said, this is the equipment we want, this is the highest level that we can go to, and we'll procure that for them.
As we leave the gym, we're now going to be heading towards the academy side, and it's an amazing space compared to what the academy have been using for the last few years, isn't it?
Yes, so this is finally moving into where the academy will be setting up home. For the academy, it's very different. Of course, they need multiple changing rooms. All the youth groups coming in here, so it can't just be 1 or 2 nice big changing rooms. We've got several changing rooms to compensate for that. But importantly, it's also where they're going to have their own dedicated facilities, so they can operate in a similar way to the first team, just with slightly different facilities over here.
As we make it here into the academy gym, it's again an amazing space that's been used, and it's something that the academy probably haven't been used to in recent years.
Yeah, unfortunately for the academy, they have been based here at Heston for far longer than the first team have been here. We've been using it for 6 or 7 years for various academy activities. They have been pushed from post to pillar for their gym use, so they've been in different rooms. When we undertook demolition last year, they got moved out of space and put into another space. So for them to have their own dedicated gym is one thing. But a gym that leads through to where their changing rooms are, so they don't have to go to separate buildings anymore. They've got massage and treatment rooms straight through there, and a nice big open space for them as well. Even with the open top roof finish, so people might think that is there going to be ceiling tiles put in, but actually this is what it's going to look like. We've gone for that type of feature that you might see in commercial gyms now, just to make it feel like that high-end gym that we're striving for.
And it leads very easily onto the changing rooms, doesn't it? And then out onto the pitch.
Yes, so obviously the academy side is very different. The first team have their own one changing room, massage areas. The academy is very different. We've got several age groups. You might have the under 15s, the under 14s playing on a Saturday. So you've got the gym here. There's about 7 or 8 changing rooms that lead through, because we've got different uses. Might be away teams as well, different match officials. So quite a lot of changing spaces on this side, but bigger for them as well.
The equipment that will be put in here will be brand new, state of the art.
Brand new, same manufacturer, same provider that we've got for the first team. So while there will be some different machines in here, it's that progression that we want. Same equipment, same standards from the academy side, but they can still see through to the first team gym. I think that's where I want to end up really.
As we make our way upstairs, we're still in the academy side of the building, but obviously on the second floor here at the training ground. Josh, again, talk us through this space.
Yeah, so we're switching our focus a little bit from where the players will be downstairs to where our staff are going to be. So this is the staff offices for the academy. Of course, they've got their different functions in different areas. So big open plan offices for their staff. You do have some individual offices, for the likes of technical directors, academy directors. But importantly, then there's space for classrooms over the other side as well. So a lot of our under 18s, different scholars that we have are coming in here on a regular basis. They're not just training on the pitch, they're coming in and doing their classwork study as well. But also where the classrooms will be is actually where our media centre is going to double up at. So where manager will do press conferences, where some of the players will do their media activations as well. So a really multi-use space that we can use day to day.
Where we've been quite clever with the space, obviously you mentioned it doubles up as media. That's quite important for the academy players to see that firsthand.
Yeah, and we talk about the progression for the academy players, being able to see what the players are doing from their media activations, to see where the press conferences go on. It's that aspirational idea, not just their classroom space, but really see what first team activities go on and what they could be achieving.
And it'll have quite easy access for the manager to come down to the academy as well.
Yeah, it's very nice for the manager as well, so not having to walk across different buildings or go to different areas or think about having to go to the stadium for press conferences. Everything can be done on site here, just down the road from where the offices will be.
Perfect. Let's take a look at the rest of the building. So as we can see the pitches behind us, this is going to be quite a spectacular sort of view out, isn't it?
Yeah, so like the gym downstairs, it's the only other space in the building where you've got floor to ceiling glass windows that run all the way along this view. You have sort of bench seating that runs along here for players, staff to sit and look out onto the pitches. But natural light floods into this area, makes it a really open, light environment to be in.
You can see the brand new pitches all the way to the back. You can see everything that will be going on, can't you?
All the way to the back. I'm not suggesting it will happen, but if the head coach or one of the coaches wanted to sit in here, it's a rainy day, it's a bit cold outside, to see all the way out to the pitches that we spent a lot of money on, for the boards, to be able to see their investment, I think it's really important.
And on our final stop here at the training ground, we've made it to the first team offices where, of course, all the big decisions will be made. You can see the offices starting to take shape. It's quite another good use of space, isn't it?
Yeah, so same with the academy side. We've used the first team side to mirror. We've got first team functional player areas below us. These are then the staff areas. So it might be the CEO, it might be the director of football, but also the manager, the coaching staff have got their own offices, so they can sit in there, have their own space. There are different offices for a recruitment team, analysis team. So each individual area will have their own space to use, which is really important. I think this open plan office that we're standing in here, some staff won't know what to do with the space because we've been long used to working in very tight spaces, people moving around each other in really tight areas. So finally, QPR staff will have something to match our Premier League ambitions.
And it's something to be proud of, isn't it, as a member of QPR?
Absolutely. I've been here several years, but QPR staff that have been here decades, we've been used to facilities that weren't the standard that we wanted them to be. We're now achieving, thanks to the board, thanks to the bondholders, we're achieving something that's going to be really that we can be proud of.
Thanks, Josh, for joining me here at the new training ground, and hopefully you've enjoyed our insight here at Heston.